everyone, I am Christelle. Today, under the Leisure and Attractions Management course, we will be discussing about school excursion tourism and attraction management. Let us see what is there for our agenda today. First, we have the objectives of today's lesson. Next, we have the introduction of the topic. Then we have the school excursion market. Then we will also discuss the different school attraction management issues, the school attraction marketing issues, the case study about Canberra, and of course, the conclusion. For the objectives of this topic, we have first, to highlight the importance of the school excursion market to the attraction sector. Second, we will be discussing the management issues surrounding school excursion attraction visits, particularly the need for attraction managers to understand teacher, parent, or guardian and school student needs. Third, we have to identify some of the major school excursion marketing issues facing attraction managers, including understanding the constraints, segments, and possible incentives to encourage school attraction visits. And lastly, through a case study of Canberra, the national capital of Australia, we will know how to outline how research can assist attraction and destination managers to understand better the needs, constraints, and incentives for school excursion visits. Let us start first with the introduction of this topic. According to the book Managing Educational Tourism, published in 2003, Brent Ritchie stated that educational tourism has received little interest from researchers and industry due to a lack of appreciation of the size and potential of this market. In June 2004 edition of Scandinavian Journal of Hospitality and Tourism, authors Vine Larsen and Doug Jensen wrote an article titled "The School Trip, Traveling with, Not to or From," and as well as in the article titled "Schools Educational Tourism" in the book In Managing Educational Tourism, published in 2003, written by Brent Ritchie and his co-authors, stated that overall, schools tourism is a poorly researched and understood segment of the tourism industry, particularly with regards to its scale, specific nature, and needs. Chris Cooper, in his article The European School Travel Market from the 1999 edition of Travel and Tourism Analyst, suggests that the school travel market demands a particular approach in terms of products and promotion, and has its own very different market characteristics and influences. Therefore, attraction managers need to be aware of the demands and nature of the school's market if they intend to develop experiences that meet the needs of teachers and students, and to develop suitable marketing activities that encourage school excursion visitation. School trips include both domestic and overseas trips and student exchanges. Broadly speaking, school trips can be divided into two categories. First, we have the curriculum-based trips. These are the trips that are directly linked to the lessons taught in the classroom and represent either an integral part or an extension of the formal learning experience. Curriculum-based school excursions have the potential to be a significant market for both built and natural attractions. Curriculum-based trips structured around lessons taught in the classroom can offer an effective experiential learning opportunity that allows individuals to see how theories and concept works in reality. The second type of school trip may be defined as extracurricular excursions. These are designed outside the constraints of curricular demands and are not linked directly to a particular class or subject of study. Many attraction managers target school excursion groups for educational as well as economic reasons. In the 1989 issue of Leisure Management, authors Chris Cooper and Latham wrote an article titled "School Trips, An Uncertain Future," suggests that school groups are able to supplement the income of an attraction through spending on merchandise and catering, while many attractions have educational mandates or provide outreach programs which school visits, fulfilling an important role within such programs. This chapter will first outline the size and nature of the school excursion market before examining a number of school excursion management issues that attraction and destination managers need to consider. In particular, this part of the chapter focuses on understanding the need for relevant facilities and educational resources for teachers and students, being aware of safety and risk issues and infrastructure issues including congestion and relevant facilities for coach drivers. The chapter will then discuss school attraction marketing issues, including the need to understand school constraints, possible incentives, and target marketing to increase school attraction visits. Finally, the chapter outlines key findings from an integrated research program on school excursion tourism in Canberra, the national capital of Australia.
Good day, I'm Kathleen and I'll be talking about the school excursion market. School excursion is a group of people or students who journey away from the place of their normal environment. School excursions help increase the profile of the attractions by the group of people such as students, parents, teacher, and any other group potential visitors. The attractions may benefit by accumulating public acceptance and support of the school. According to Ritchie and Coglan 2004, marketing to school is as important as any other market segment for two major reasons. First, young people's attitude towards destination and its attractions, both public and private sector, where students will experience through their visits and probably influence them that will have the time of their lives. School visits are good in investments for the future if the commentary of the students is good. Second, from a tourism visitation perspective, school groups help to bolster off-peak attendances at attractions. Example, the cultural attractions for school are the art galleries, museums, nature parks that is more valued as educational and have a role to educate the students. According to Ritchie et al. 2003, a summary of reasons why attractions should target the school excursion market. These are, first, school can be encouraged to visit in the off-peak and quiet times of the day. Second, schools are an excellent source of positive word-of-mouth marketing. Children often return with their families. Third, children's exhibit can be newsworthy. Fourth, schools visits provide an opportunity to promote the non-financial benefits of the visit, and including an understanding of such issues as sustainability, environmental concerns, social and cultural issues, and issues of race and conflict. Fifth, children are the adult market of the future. Sixth, the school market is remarkably loyal, and once they have undertaken a successful visit, will return regularly. And seventh, while school children typically gain entry to commercial attractions at a substantially discounted price, they do spend on retailing and catering. Catering for various ages and attitudes, providing high-quality educational material and interactive learning experiences. Having well-qualified staff and keeping visitors entertained is a challenge for all sectors of the tourism industry. Engage in school visits, but especially for attractions. School excursion market needs to be understood, including their motivations, needs and constraints, identifying the needs and the suppliers of the market. And it is a challenge of the attraction managers in how they will handle the needs of the school excursion participants.
Hi, I'm Elaine and I will be discussing to you school attraction management issues. Estimates suggest that around 50% of the volume of school visits are day trips, with the remainder comprising overnight stay. Cooper in 1999. For day trips, the focus of the visit is usually an attraction such as a theme park, museum, art gallery, science center, garden, zoo, or wildlife park. Here, the tourist sector is involved in providing transportation as well as the focus of the visit itself. However, for overnight stay, the accommodation sector also become involved. Typically, this trip lasts up to a week. Utilize budget accommodation such as youth hostel or guest house, and use coach or minibus transport at the domestic level. School excursion management issues from the perspective of both teachers, parents, caregivers, and destinations, including attraction managers. For the purposes of this chapter, can be summarized into three main themes. First is the attraction facilities and educational resources. Second, safety and risk issues. And third, infrastructure issues including congestion and facilities for school excursion support service such as coach companies.
Hi, I'm Yvonne and I will tackle about the attraction facilities and educational resources. A range of specialist facilities and resources are often required to cater and adequately for a school excursion group. As Cooper suggests, from the point of view of schools and teachers, they need to be convinced of the curriculum value of the visit. They will look for this to be demonstrated by the provision of educational materials and resources. This is a central element in the development of the school's product and maximization of its curricular value. Therefore, attraction managers must ensure that they can adequately supply a range of facilities and resources relevant to the school excursion market, including free classroom facilities, free indoor packed lunchroom, outdoor eating area, free familiarization visits for teachers, free coach car parking, free adult or accompanying passes depending on the size of the group, access to the specialist education team, access for special needs, and secure storage for the belongings. Also, justification of school excursions by teachers is mostly made on the basis of educational or curriculum reasons. Therefore, it is vital that attraction managers provide educational resources including pre-visit packs, on-site facilities including rooms, storage, and places for eating, as well as post-visit information materials that make direct links to relevant curriculum. So there is a national study of teachers in 1985 in England. It determined that services such as teachers' resources and student packs, as well as lunchrooms and specialist education staff, is very important components of the school excursion experience. For instance, 72.9% of teachers surveyed in England suggested that the teacher educational packs were important, while 55.3% stated that pupil education packs were important to the success of the school trips. In Australia, a national research found that 89% of teachers indicated that teacher pre-visit education packs were important, while 40% noted that teacher packs at the attraction were also important, indicating the importance of understanding more clearly not only the informational needs to the teachers but also the timing of information provision. Many attractions also provide educational officers or a specialist education team to cater towards this market. Indeed, research from Cooper and Latham, 1989, and Collan et al. Found that 44.7% and 63% of teachers respectively felt that specialist education staff were important for school excursion visits to attractions. Furthermore, Howard 2000 suggests that primary and secondary school teachers and teachers from country and city areas showed differences in their venue choice for school excursions based on these characteristics. Understanding the size, scope, and nature of the visit group is vital in providing school excursion groups with a quality experience. It is therefore vital to provide lively, exciting, and memorable material for teachers and pupils, as well as to plan this into the development of an attraction or destination from the start. So these materials should be both age and subject specific. Educational materials and display should encourage pupils to interact with others, allow pupils to relate to the material, reward pupils wherever possible, make the teacher's job easier and less stressful, provide especially for the 9 to 13 years old age group, and keep it simple. Furthermore, pre-visit information should also be provided and may include map and details of location, details on what there is to see, logistics of visit, teachers and possibly student pre-visit packs with ideas of pre-visit post-visit and on-site activities, and lastly, safety and risk assessment information. So such information does not need to be provided in hard copy format, but could be provided on attraction websites or destination websites developed specifically for school attraction visits. So that will be all for the attraction, facilities, and educational resources.
Hi, my name is Elaine and I will be discussing to you safety and risk issues. Despite the variety of sources of pressure being exerted on the educational system of a variety of countries to stop field trips. Probably the large issue is related to the deaths, accidents, and other incidents that occur on school trips and how they are portrayed in the media. For example, in the UK, it has been estimated that 7 children died while on school trips in 2001 and 47 between 1985 and 2001, according to Reveal 2002. With teachers and other organizers of school trips increasingly facing criminal charges and the process of public inquiries when a child is injured or killed while on field trip. It is only parents who are having second thoughts about educational trips. In addition to death or injured, the revelation that over one third of British school children aged 16 or under have had sexual experiences on holiday, 60% of which involved penetrative sex, shows how school and teachers may face litigation linked to field trip. Lassit 2001. While not participating in field trips removes the risk of litigation and or criminal charges from teachers and school, it also robs students of the opportunity to take part in school trips and experience the educational benefits associated with them. In effect, the blame culture and litigation mentality increasingly being cultivated around the world could lead to the end of school trips, according to Robertson 2001. Perception of safety, particularly in an area of a global security and terrorism, may also affect school excursion trips. Some evidence is provided in the context of Canberra, Australia, where a major bushfire in January 2003 destroyed a range of camping grounds and lodge-style accommodation which created from school groups. Although the fire did not affect the central city area where the most of the national institution and attraction are based, perception of widespread damage and destination seriously affect attraction visitation levels with school visit number in the month during and after the bushfire dropping by approximately 50%. Risk assessment and safety materials should be provided by attraction managers to teachers and school coach operations to reduce the concerns that teachers and guardians may have. Let's proceed to infrastructure issues. Although school groups are primarily influenced by teachers and to a lesser extent by parents or guardians, children can influence destination choice based on their physical needs, age, and their ability to undertake long trips away from school and home. According to Third in 1997, accommodation facilities and distance required to travel were determined whether allocation is feasible for a school group to visit. If a destination has high quality attractions with educational merit but poor support infrastructure such as school friendly accommodation, poor accessibility from a destination or attraction perspective, and lacks suitable medical facilities, that could influence teachers' choice of destination. Primary schools with young children are more likely to travel shorter distance than those with older children. The behavior and needs of children can also significantly influence a school attraction visit. Accommodation that provides school friendly dorms and catering services in a cost effective way are increasingly attractive to school teachers and to parents or guardians who are increasingly required to at least partially fund school excursions.
Hi, I am Christelle. Now, we are going to talk about school attraction marketing issues. Marketing to school requires a distinctive approach. The education market is loyal, and once attracted and satisfied with the services of a destination tend to become regular, repeat visitors. According to Cooper, destinations should have a proactive and professional approach to promoting themselves to the educational travel market. From a marketing point of view, it is important to recognize the differences in type of school and age of children and consider the elements of the marketing mix which may attract certain schools. As we can see here at table 11.1, these are the possible incentives linked with the marketing mix for school excursion tourism. We have the product, the price, the promotion, and the place. Under product, we have better quality accommodation, more school-friendly attractions, special offers and packages, a special event related to your curriculum, state-based curriculum programs, special exhibitions, and special programs at attractions. Under price, we have the discounted accommodation, a rebate per student, and special offers and packages. Under promotion, we have access to online information, a destination planner to assist organizing, information seminars held in your region, and familiarization tours. Under place, we have access to online information, a destination planner to assist organizing, and assist tourist and safety information. There are three key reasons why marketers should consider the marketing mix. First, according to Cooper and Latham, when mapping the catchment areas of a destination or attraction for potential school visits, research shows that schools are reluctant to take younger children on longer distances and will confine journey time around an hour. This severely limits the potential catchment for destinations and attractions. For older children, distances traveled can be greater, but schools still like to complete the visit within the school day. Second, the timing of marketing to schools is crucial and will depend upon the age of the children involved. Dependent upon climate, many countries concentrate their visits into the spring and early summer months. Decisions on such visits are generally taken early in the school year. For example, September or October in the Northern Hemisphere and March or February in the Southern Hemisphere. For younger children, decisions on visits are made approximately one semester ahead of the trip, whereas senior schools tend to operate on an annual cycle. This variation in visit decision-making is important from a marketing point of view, as schools will be more receptive to promotion at certain key times of the year. Finally, the person in the school who makes the visit decision also varies by the age of the children. For younger groups, the head teacher or deputy head makes the decision. For older children, the subject teacher makes the decision. This is also the case for tertiary education groups where the lecturer makes the decision. Because of the very personal nature of contact with schools and individual teachers, marketing to schools tends to use relationship marketing approaches such as direct mail. However, other approaches and incentives such as free familiarization visits and price discounts are essential if the promotion is to convert to a visit. There are other techniques that should be included according to Cooper and Latham. First, contact with educational authorities. Second, direct mailing to schools with newsletters and excursion planning information. Third, poster campaigns. Next, marketing special events which may be relevant for school groups, editorial coverage, advertising in the educational press, attendance at school visit fairs, and lastly, attendance at teacher conferences and seminars. In order to understand better the decisions made by schools concerning destination choice and how schools come to these decisions, marketers need firstly to be aware that the school market is not a homogeneous one, and that segmentation of the school's market by characteristics may help to target and help overcome the constraints schools may face. Leisure and tourism researchers have been increasingly interested in the role of travel constraints and how these are likely to affect leisure patterns. Yet, few studies have thus far been undertaken relating to the constraints faced by school excursion tourism decision makers and what this may mean to our school attraction marketing. A research titled Reconceptualizing Barriers to Family Leisure in 1987 by Dwayne Crawford and Jeffrey Galbay stated that such constraints can be placed into three major interrelated categories that move sequentially from the most proximal to most distal. First, intrapersonal. This exists when individuals fail to develop leisure or tourism preferences. Examples for school excursion tourism include relevance to curriculum, student behavior, or travel logistics. Interpersonal. This exists because of a lack of social interaction. Examples include staff shortages or a lack of willingness on the part of teachers to take excursions. And third, structural. These are factors that intervene between preferences and participation. Examples include lack of information, cost, timetabling, funding, or distance to the attraction. Naomi Dale, in her case study in 2007 titled Identifying Strategies to Overcome Constraints to School Excursions, an Australian case study, she identified that as the school size grew, so did the importance and influence of interpersonal constraints, while school-related structural constraints become less of an issue. The research also discovered that as the experience level of the teacher increased, interpersonal constraints was less of an issue, but destination-related structural constraints such as appropriate accommodation, facilities, and others become more important constraints for teachers. The role of the marketer in converting latent into effective demand is to overcome those constraints that research may uncover. Some of these constraints may be interrelated. Due to staff shortage at the school, teachers may not have a strong willingness to commit to planning school trips. Similarly, student behavior may have an influence on staff willingness to organize a school excursion. Ultimately, the challenge remains to align the marketing mix more closely with the possible constraints faced by the latent market. In most cases, this will have implications for the further development of the school attraction product, its pricing, promotion, and distribution as what we have seen at Table 11.1. Furthermore, it should be noted that schools face differing constraints depending on their size, staffing, type, the socioeconomic profile of the parents or guardians, and their location. The following case study examines how an integrated and strategic research program can help both attraction and destination managers to understand the constraints and possible incentives to encourage school excursion visits, as well as to understand the needs of teachers, students, and support service providers such as coach drivers.
Today, I will present the case study of Canberra, national capital of Australia. Canberra is located approximately a 3-hour drive south of Sydney and a 7.5-hour drive from Melbourne, and sits in the Australian Capital Territory or ACT. Canberra is a high-profile destination for the schools market both within the ACT in particular and in Australia in general. They provide educational tourism experiences and supporting infrastructure. So this study is all about the information in providing details on the size and scope of school excursion constraints to participation and possible methods of overcoming such constraints. In particular, safety and risk issues are now paramount and teachers are looking for the cost-effective attractions. Also, educational resources are very important, such as educational packs, guided tours, and student educational packs, suggesting that attraction managers need to provide suitable resources for school excursion groups. Hence, the result to provide information for attraction managers to develop marketing, product development, and improvement strategies. That would be all for the case study of Canberra, National Capital of Australia. Hi, I'm Kathleen, and for the conclusion, this chapter has highlighted the importance of the school excursion market to attractions as well as tourism destinations. There is generally a lack of research into school excursion attraction visits, though this chapter identified on how the attraction managers needs to understand the students, teachers, parents, and any other potential visitors to provide educational and great experience and to boost repeat visitation of the attractions. Safety and risk issues are putting pressure on the educational system to stop field trips despite their educational benefits that cause the concern of the teachers and parents. As Robertson 2001 suggests, accepting that accidents do happen, we should learn from them and try to help teachers, parents, and children better understand the nature of risk. We need to set standards which achieve the required level of safety while avoiding a culture of overregulation and bureaucracy. This chapter, school excursion support services may not be perceived as directly relevant to attraction managers but to the teachers that giving importance on school-friendly accommodation. Then in this chapter has argued that school excursion should treat like the other market with targeted marketing activities that developed by attraction and destination managers. And the point of the marketing mix is to help the managers to improve more the development of innovative products that needs of the school groups. This chapter provided a case study of the search program undertaken in Canberra, the national capital of Australia, to illustrate how research can assist school attraction product development and marketing activities. It needs more research for us to understand why is this market neglected and on how to handle the concerns of the parents, teachers, and students, and as way how to move the focus of the research away from the teachers and tourist providers. As part of this focus, the influence of the school visit should be examined in more detail. This topic is based on this book from the title Managing Visitor Attractions, New Directions, 2nd edition 2008, published by Butterworth Heinemann, Elsevier imprint.